Hey, all, Dustin here. Super excited. This is a topic that I'm pretty passionate about, and it's about cognition and brain performance. And one thing that we've known, and the research is very clear on, that ketones are extremely important for the brain. They help with energy to the brain. They help with mental clarity, focus, and mood. We've seen stories, and there's so many stories of people being just generally happier, have left cravings, mood elevation. We're noticing people like myself that have had some challenging. I've been hitting the head a few times, and just the clarity. It's like the windshield wipers going across your eyes. The one thing about the brain that I always like to bring awareness to is that science has shown, and one of my good friends of mine, Dr. Mary Newport, maybe I'll put a little video down below for her, but one of the things that I've learned is that after the age of 30, our brain starts to gap, basically. And all that means is that energy, food, like when you eat food, it breaks down in your system. Well, unfortunately, after the age of 30, the food, the energy that's created doesn't necessarily get to the brain the most effective way, and it causes gaps. So there's lack of energy to the brain. We know if people have been maybe hit in the head a few times, like myself, that basically slows down that energy into the brain. People that have consumed a lot of carbohydrates or are having a hard time with excessive, carbohydrate consumption, have gained extra weight. People that have carried an extra 10, 15, 20 or more pounds, kilos or stones, depends what country you're in. We know that energy source is affected to the brain. So people are getting less food to the brain, which is slowing down the brain. And so this video is to explain to you that there's a huge need for energy to the brain. There's a huge need for, if you want to optimize your performance in life, athletic performance or just everyday life, that getting ketones in the brain is really cool. There's actually a really cool researcher, Dr. Stephen Cunnane, has done research on energy and ketones to the brain. And what it does is look at it this way. You have a million light bulbs. And so the older we get, the more times you've been hit in the head and the more carbohydrates you consumed in your life, the more light bulbs that turn off. And ketones turn the light bulbs back on. Now, that can take a day, a week, 6 weeks, or even longer. So as you've gotten a little bit older in your years, you're in your better half of your life, we really want to make sure that we have ketones to help the brain function better. And this will help with all the other goals: fat loss, energy, performance, everything else too. So I want to kind of give you a little bit of a protocol or a guidance to improve brain function. And what it is number one product is this right here. This is our Keto Nat. Now, it comes in caffeine or caffeine free. If you're caffeine sensitive, just use the caffeine version. But caffeine free, what I recommend, and it all kind of depends on your budget and how much you're willing to invest into your brain health. So 1 to 2 servings of this day. If you're to say, Dustin, what's optimal? I would say 2 of these a day, but get at least 1. Most people drink them in the morning. That's a good day to start your brain off well. And drink about it over 30 minutes, not too fast. Don't slam it quickly, but drink it over about 30 minutes. If you want to go 40, that's fine. If you want to go to 20, that's fine too. Somewhere in that window. Ice and water. You do not have to change your diet to get brain function and improve brain function, but I do encourage you, just as a health, to be healthy, eat less carbs and sugars, less processed food, eat when you're hungry. There's a lot of evidence for anti-aging and better aging, less food, live longer. So this helps with that anyway. So once in the morning, if you want to do a second in the afternoon, which is optimal, I would do another one in the afternoon. Caffeine or caffeine free, it's up to you. Here's 2 support products that are proven to also help the brain. And I'm going to kind of prioritize them. This is our Keto Cream, and this is our MCT 143. This is probably the second most important product to utilize for brain and cognition. This was developed by a friend of mine. Her name is Dr. Mary Newport. You can research her. She's amazing. Dr. Mary Newport is a wonderful lady, but she developed this for her husband about 11 years ago. And it's a combination of coconut oil, it's a combination of medium chain fatty acids, and a combination of choline and acetylcholine. And basically what that does is that's designed for the cognition and brain. Coconut oil in itself has a good antiviral and antibacterial functions, which is really good. But then you add the MCT and the choline, it's super important for memory and cognition. So this is gonna work really well synergistically. Most people don't add this right to here, but you could. I actually just drink it. I drink a shot in the morning, a shot in the afternoon. I recommend at least 2 teaspoons a day, and you can work up to 2 tablespoons of this a day. And it's a great product. You can put it on your salad. You can cook with it. Don't cook on super high heat, but a low heat. You can add it on salads. You can add it into your coffee in the morning. You can just take shots of it. You can make fun desserts with it. There's a lot of cool things you can do with it. But this is really important. This is kind of like the perfect storm for cognition. 2 servings, 2 teaspoons or 2 tablespoons of this a day, and 2 of these a day. Hey, get what you can get in. If you can only handle right now 1 of these a day and 1 tablespoon of this a day, get it in. This has been designed for even the color of the bottle, everything has been designed to help preserve it all natural, the most pure form, to get the most out of the cognition of the brain for both of these. But what you could do, if you like coffee, you can also add your keto cream to coffee. And what you could do, this is like an alternative, is you could have one of these in your coffee in the morning, this in the morning, and then this in the afternoon with one of these. That's another alternative. So keto cream, you can also use this for cognition, but if you're really prioritizing it, these two are the key. This is number one, this is number two, together even better. So hey, down below, we're gonna have or above, one of those two, we're gonna have a little brain, kind of a brain guide to help you kind of follow a process. I do encourage you to move your body. If you move your body and get exercise, or even walking with ketones, it actually improves cognition even more. So any time of exercise that you do with ketones in your system, you'll improve the function into the brain. So thank you all. Plug in, use this product. You already have a link to it, so you can just go in your cloud office. You can buy the product right there and start using it right away. Thank you.